6 mic, that was great. And now it's Matt LaFont's turn. Matthew Jacobson.
I'm here to talk about failure. Most I'm going to be talking about my own life, because I feel like if you're talking about something like failure, it's more respectful and appropriate to talk about your own life, but I feel like public figures are a little bit eligible for this kind of discussion. So this is Vince Young. Those of you who follow football, which I'm going to be honest, most of us are nerds, so not very many of us. Was a tremendous college athlete, won the Rose Bowl, was like hugely successful, went to the NFL, ended up not doing so well, kind of collapsed and actually disappeared for a while. They thought he'd threatened suicide. The whole thing was that like he'd never been challenged before. So I'm going to talk about things that have challenged me. These are some of the places I've lived. Upper left is where I was born, Laramie, Wyoming. We moved from there when I was less than a year old, so I don't remember it. Other two are from Corvallis. That's actually the house that I grew up in. There used to be a tree in the front. This is a Google Maps thing. Corvallis was like a ridiculously well-educated town between Oregon State University and HP. This was back in like the 90s when engineering was like really a big deal there. So naturally all of my peers were also like hyper-educated, really high-achieving, like you're going to go and do great things, like if you're not like the top of your class, it's embarrassing. But I didn't always do so well. So like in English, for example, I remember I did not do very well. My parents actually ended up picking me down from the advanced class to normal, which is fine, right? But it feels like it's such a bummer. And I actually ended up going to the community college during the summer to try and get better at English because it was something I just wasn't doing well at. I also did a lot of arts things. As many of you know, I still do. So I was in the Crucible, as in You Can't Take It With You. These are both plays. I played piano in lots of capacities. Did swing dancing. One of the big things that was consistent, though, in all of these performances is that I always had very high standards for myself, and I didn't handle that well. So I always felt like no matter what I did, it wasn't perfect, so it was actually a failure. So I would ignore when people tried to give me like flowers afterwards, saying what a good job, friends, family. I'd always be practicing more. I'd go back to the dressing room after the performances. Just I didn't feel like it was perfect, so it wasn't any good at all. Of course, this was high school, so some of this was just self-esteem issues. A lot of the issues were just dealing with your identity. So I worked really hard on that, and I think one of the things I really learned from that was it's okay not to be perfect. Went to University of Nevada, go Wolfpack. Spent lots of times in the practice rooms. That's actually a fish that was public art outside the building. Don't know why, just was there. So I moved from Corvallis down to Reno specifically to study jazz piano. First semester I'm there. They don't actually have a teacher available for me, so I ended up taking drum lessons with a grad student. Second semester, still don't have any jazz guys who are willing to work with me, so I ended up studying classical piano, which is great, but I've literally moved specifically to do jazz piano. Then second year, I ended up studying with a guy that I moved here to work with, and we literally had a lesson where he said to me, go home, practice for 2 hours a day until you figure out how to do this better and come back next week, which I'm like, that's not actually teaching. The other guy, the final quarter that I was working on this, actually just spent most of our lessons trying to convert me to Christianity, so it was just not a good match. So basically I took that failure, that trying to do jazz piano, and I pivoted to where people did care about me, where they did want me to be there, which was choir, which ended up actually leading to performing among other places Carnegie Hall, which was amazing. Wasn't 300 people in the choir, but I was still there. And that's actually the church in Reno where I did my senior recital. The other thing that I did is that I took this as an opportunity to broaden my horizons, so I started studying philosophy, I started taking Latin. It was really interesting in getting some of the non-arts side of things. However, as you probably sensed from the theme, not all things go well. So I ended up having a pretty hard time with it. Latin was really tough. Sometimes it was taught by a German emeritus professor who was just kind of there. And for philosophy, one of the big issues that I had is I thought philosophy was a lot about interpreting things the way I want to interpret them. And it turns out the assignment is what did Sartre say? That's not actually the same as what does Matthew say. Which was good, it was valuable. It taught me a lot about how to interact with people and learn things. So after I graduated, I was working as a ballroom dance instructor in Reno, but as the empty calendar indicates, the economy there is not the best. It was hard to get enough lessons. So I ended up moving from Reno down to Sacramento. So again, I said, this is the thing I want to do. I'm going to move someplace, and that's going to make things better. Like, things haven't been going well, so I'm going to adapt. In order to make ends meet, I ended up playing some piano for churches. Up there is Bethany Presbyterian, where I played piano for a while. There's St. Teresa in Auburn, California. Incidentally, this is actually a picture from Easter 2015. Kelsey is at the piano, and most of why we started dating is because that's the church that she's like 15 minutes from. So, again, it wasn't my plan, but it worked out well to fail. Eventually, dancing did go better. These are some performance pictures. A lot of fun, but the studio actually ended up going through a period where, again, the economy wasn't doing great, the management wasn't great, so I had to pivot again. And one of the things that taught me is that while I do dearly love dance, it's not something I want to hinge my livelihood on. So I started working at the California Secretary of State. This is actually the largest public... They were hiring. This is actually the largest public artwork in California, which is amazing constitutional law, and that's an example of what I was doing there. Authenticating documents for international use, so you basically look at the signature and go, yep, it matches, and you staple something to it. Which is cool and rewarding, but not really what I wanted to do. So I kept applying for jobs, and I kept not getting them. I went on interviews, and I kept not getting them. So again, what did I do because I failed? I said, let's move someplace. So I started applying to grad school, and so Kelsey and I moved from Sacramento all the way across country here to Chicago. Very big change, here to try and, again, work on the thing. Very excited to be here at Harris School of Public Policy. I am still involved with ballroom dance, but again, one of the things that I've learned is it's not what I want my whole life to be. Shameless free advertisement, by the way, next Wednesday we're doing a performance. But anyway, like I said, Harris School, I mean, this is obviously a tremendously challenging place. We all realize that. It's one of many people who did math stats. So the last thing I want to finish with, I was reading a study actually, I was doing research for this, and it was talking about trees, and they did an experiment where they grew trees in an area with no wind, and the trees grew like faster than ever, but because they were never stressed, they actually didn't develop much resiliency, and they would collapse under their own weight. So the big story about all this is that failure is actually a really good thing. Being challenged actually makes you a stronger human being, and makes you able to keep moving forward. I don't really feel like I have a role model. I have lots of people who I feel like have been influences in my life. For example, the woman that I studied with, a lot of my dance experience was in the Truckee Mountains. She's somebody who actually, she's done lots of things. This is one that she actually told me not to tell anybody, but none of you know her, so it's, well, Kelsey knows her, but don't tell her I said this. She actually tried to work as a comedy writer, and that didn't work, and that's part of why she's now a ballroom dance instructor. So there's some level of that, but I feel like all of us have that in our lives. I don't need like a person to show me that it's okay to fail. I just look at myself, look at other people, and realize that it's okay to fail. Yeah?
What's your favorite style of dance?
Whatever I'm doing at the time. No, I always give that answer, and people are always very disappointed because they're like, you're supposed to say whatever. But I just really like moving and like interacting with other people, and I've also done some stage dance. So like I did dance minor in college, so I did ballet, jazz, tap, modern, all that kind of stuff. I just really enjoy like moving my body and feeling the connection internally, or when I'm dancing with somebody, feeling the connection with them. So yeah.
At what age did you start dancing?
So I started dancing my senior year of high school because I started dating a girl, and one of my best friends started dating her best friend. And the two girls were co-captains of the swing club, and my buddy and I aren't stupid. So we figured we danced too. So one of the things that I think is just like a hilarious kind of small town thing. So I ended up taking some classes in ballroom dance. So it was a swing club, so I started branching out. The guy that I'd actually been taking jazz piano lessons from was also teaching the ballroom dance classes. So for a while I was like, oh my god, I'm going to grow up to be Dave, like teaching